I muted myself. That's why we had no mic. I was talking and I didn't unmute myself. So, now we have a mic. Uh, I know what I'm doing, folks. I do know what I'm doing. Um, so bear with me. I appreciate your patience as I try and fix this. I'm trying not to struggle. Like I set everything up. Me and Tara fixed everything, and now I cannot put the stream on to the radio station. That's what's happening right now. Um, the stream is not like everything else I can fix. This for whatever reason, give me a reason, for whatever reason, is not allowing me to fix it. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm using the settings, folks, and I can't like I'm only 6 um gonna be 6 minutes late, but it's still frustrating. I don't like I'm trying to be semi-professional here when I do this show. And I really had hoped that today would be the day where we started off the show and did everything right. And yet again, there is a technology issue where it causes me to do everything wrong. And I don't like it. Like I have a story that I want to talk to you about really badly, and I have to fix this first so I can feel comfortable moving on. So I appreciate everybody's patience on the Twitter and the live stream, but the radio station itself is important, and we're gonna just get it right, damn it, and we're gonna stream, and we're gonna make this happen, even if because literally what's happening now is the stream is not connecting to the radio station. Yes, I will go so far as to that's no, it's my fault. 1943. Okay, I this was my fault. I had put in an old password. Oh my Jesus. Oh my Jesus. Let's see if it'll connect now. Now it's connected. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the delay. We are live at the Nosey Liberal. We had an issue getting here to get to you live. Amazingly enough, my fault. I was going to begin the show by apologizing for all the technical issues that we've had this week and just moving on. But we had technical issues. We're gonna blame Jim in the chat in the comment section. Insists that we blame Trump for some of the errors. I'm gonna go with that. We got a lot to talk about today. We're gonna forget that the technical issues happened. The technical issues are resolved. I'm here. We're gonna have Tara Devlin with us. We're gonna have a great show for you. I want you all to sit back, relax, and enjoy the program because we're gonna have a really good show. Um, and I got everything working. So amen to that. Amen to that. Amen to that. And none too soon because it was making my head explode. And I got other things to do today that are way more important because I got news for you that we didn't cover yesterday because we didn't cover so much yesterday because we couldn't with Tara because of technology and my own fault. Usually like the password and like when things happen, the problem is my own making because I go too fast. I don't slow down. I'm like a bull in a china shop. and I'm trying to get everything done and be like, "Oh, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's move on to the next thing." And then I hit myself in the head and crack my head open because Tom didn't do the right thing. And what we need to do is do better with doing the right thing, and we're working on it. I promise you, next week we will not have any technical flaws that are my fault. If it's a technical issue, it will not be my fault. I guarantee it. That's a Tom Reynolds guarantee from the Nosey Liberal. Um, the other thing too is um the uh a brain fart here. Technical issue that is Tom's fault is Tom had a brain fart. The other issue is Woke Talk Radio will not premiere until next weekend at 8 o'clock with me and Lou Hastings. Lou has personal issues. I am not going to be able to do a show. We're just going to let it go till next week and go from there. And I can't wait to start with Lou Hastings. Um, but as far as technical issues and technical stuff, no more my fault technical issues. I swear, um, because they make me crazy. And I hope you're enjoying the program. I hope you're listening. We are uh, dealing with lots of tech today, and hopefully, our internet will not go down. That was what I wanted to say. The connection uh, to the SoundCloud. We will upload all the streams never because there are too many issues. Okay? We're going to start uploading the streams Monday to the SoundCloud so you can listen to them and you can hear a show that's professionally done because that's what I want to do. So, are we clear on that? We have the SoundCloud issue sorted. It's sorted and aborted. Um, that's a visual if there ever was one. Um, so there is that. And again, my apologies about the drama here. Um, it caught me off guard, and we're in 11 minutes in, and it's not how I wanted to do the show. We're not gonna the break music will come on as music, and we're gonna have few breaks today because I got stuff to talk about, and that's more important than the breaks. So the breaks are gonna be few and far between. Um, but we are gonna have the 10 o'clock break till 10:06. But that's really gonna be it. Um, I don't know, like this camera thing. I'm still trying to get comfortable with. I just feel like with it. Like that's why I was so freaking out that we couldn't get the radio stream on because um I adore talking to you guys on just having a conversation and it's unintrusive. With the camera to me it's intruding. I have to have all the lights on. I can't be in my bathrobe. I would love to do the show in my bathrobe again. I miss doing the show in my bathrobe, but I can't do the show in my bathrobe. It doesn't you can't do a show on YouTube in your bathrobe. Well, I could be the bathrobe liberal. I could do that show. Um, though I think no one would view it. Although the bathrobe that I do have is comfy as fuck. It is the comfiest bathrobe there ever was, and I feel like Tony Soprano when I'm wearing the bathrobe. There's that. See, this is why, like, we're gonna talk about the story in a minute, and there's almost a minute till the break, so we're gonna come back and I need to. entangle my nerves from everything failing. So when we come back from the break, what we're going to do is start the show as if we didn't have this happen and start all over again. Um and I'm not going to all I'm going to do is just start as if it were brand new for the Nosey Liberal. And we're gonna be like in science fiction where you have that instant forget. We're gonna forget it happened. Okay? It will be on the YouTube forever, but we're gonna forget that it happened. And because I that's one of the things like with Tara Devlin yesterday. This is why I'm so thrilled she's a friend of mine. She's the boss, man. Tara Devlin is the boss. She And we'll get into the news at 17 after the hour when the after the little break music comes on. And Tara Devlin is the boss because she puts me in my place without being a dickhead about it. Like, she will tell me, like, I am beating myself up over the technology issue and, giving you guys the best show and being the Rush Limbaugh of the left or Ed Schultz, and who I got my Ed Schultz, I got my first customer with on his call-in show. He gave me my first customer for my business that I've had for 5 years now, that I'm running to this day. I love liberal talk radio, and I want to be the best liberal host, most professional as I can be, and I demand a certain level of greatness for you. Great production value for you. I'm not talking Museum of Broadcasting production value. I am talking about you will rewatch it or re-listen to it production value. That's what I want. And if I can't make that happen, I get very annoyed, you know? And I've been very annoyed this week. We've had some great shows, and people are watching the shows on YouTube, and I got to say thank you. Um I promise you we fix the issues. We do fix the issues. Um as we go along. But that is going to be me being my own producer is no longer an excuse. We will strive for perfection. So, we will do that. And those on the YouTubes and the Facebooks and the Twitters, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's not how I wanted it to happen. Here we go. This works. Let's just lower that a little bit. See, now we can not blast you out of the sky and you can hear me. See, folks, the Nosey Liberal, we're here, we're live, we're fixing all the issues as we go along, and I know what caused that, and I'm going to fix that issue. And we're live. The Nosey Liberal. Lots to talk about today. Let's not waste any more time talking about tech. Fuck technology. Fuck technology. We are going to talk about Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden? Yes, Hunter Biden. Because it's important. Because the right has a new person to blame. Because they can't blame Joe Biden directly because Joe Biden is a squeaky wheel. He does nothing wrong. There's no there. So they got to attack Hunter Biden, the former drug addict, the kid who is not doing so well with his life, young adult. I think he's younger than me or around my age. I'm 45. Um, and he has to be attacked by the right because he's made some questionable dealings, but nothing illegal. Nothing's ever been illegal. They've been questionable. And in Republican eyes, like if this was Mitt Romney doing it, pass, 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 pass. Get a pass. But because it's Hunter Biden, no pass for you. We can't allow this to happen in America, they say. So they go off. Now, here's how it all ties in. Because it's important that we tie it all in together in the narrative and we understand what they're doing to try and pull a fast one over on the American people and the low information voters. It all ties in together. There is a poll that says people are thinking that Trump would have stopped Putin from invading. I shit you not. I found it on Breitbart. And it's going to be all over the right wing media because that's where it percolates. It percolates on these little sites, and then it goes big, and then it goes viral, and then it goes Fox News, Fox and Friends, and then it goes to Hannity, and then it goes to Tucker, and then it goes to Primetime, and then it's covered, and then Bill Clinton. Trump is interviewed, and they want his opinion on what the great one, an almighty one thinks. So the story is basically Hunter Biden had some business dealings. And Hunter Biden's business dealings, let me get this correct here for the stream people. Add to stream. There we go. I fixed that problem. I I fixed the problem. I I I fixed the problem for the streaming people. I know why it was muted. Um that was my fault because I'm using the extra camera feature. The mute uh went off on the thing. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Um, we're still working out this StreamYard. But back to Hunter Biden. See, these issues I can fix. Back to Hunter Biden here. Hunter Biden is the narrative that they're going for. They are going for this right wing um narrative Now, if I remove this, will you still be able to hear me? I don't know. Let me fix something here real quick. Let's see. Uh, just bear with me, folks, as I fix one little thing here. I know what I'm gonna fix. I know exactly what I'm gonna fix. Ha ha ha. Transfer. Yeah, you guys are seeing how the sausage is made, and I don't like that, but it is what it is. We got to show the people how the sausage is made. Um, so um, there's that. Uh, and now that's showing up all of a sudden. Stop camera, and just bear with me. This should pop up any second. Give me a second, and there we go. Now you'll be able to hear me, and there will be no issue. Um, okay. All right. Little bit more doohickeys to switch around and make work and get right, but we managed to do it. And not of my own making. This was just a technology thing that I didn't understand. So Jim says cool. I say cool. Now we got it all straightened out. We're straightening it out and flying right. Um, I back to our friend Hunter Biden is being connected to this drama that is unfolding here. Um, and hold on one more second on the YouTubes, guys. Just let me fix one more thing. There we go. All right. All right. Now you guys should be able to have me and have no problem having me, and there should be no other issue with that because I was going slightly insane. So Hunter Biden, um, and I took myself off. Um, at the stream. I just want everything to work, and now we have everything working. So there's our break music for the half-hour break. We're not going to take this break. We're just going to fly through it. We're going to just fly through this break. But I fixed that issue, and I now know what I did wrong. I had it opposite the way it should be for the stream. So Hunter Biden is this ends to means that the right is going with. Like they don't. The way to explain it is they need a boogeyman, right? They need somebody to be the bad guy in all this. So they have chosen Hunter Biden to be the bad person in all this. Not a bad person. He's gone through some issues there. But ultimately he's not a bad person. Hunter Biden is just trying to get through the day. like everybody else. That does not make him a bad person. And the right-wing narrative that is going on with the story is Putin is going to get away with being sanctioned to death by everybody because of China. And these companies are linked to Hunter Biden that he did business dealings with. And so these companies that Hunter Biden like they're trying to make it sound as if Hunter Biden is going to make money off of this whole thing with Russia, which there's no proof here. There's no. It's all circumstantial. It's not like the Jesse Millette thing. By the way, we're going to talk about that later. I have some things to say about Jesse Millette, and people, I'm going to get canceled before we even get the broadcast to really go anywhere. So, Sinopec and China National Petroleum Corporation are in discussions with Beijing to invest in Russia gas prom. Bloomberg reported on Tuesday. This has done business with both Chinese firms. Is being reported that Hunter Biden has been doing business with both Chinese firms, which hope to take advantage of deep discounts in the company's shares in order to shore up their energy and commodity stockpiles. He may still hold indirect investment in Sinopec. No crime. Hunter Biden is not committing a crime here. He may may hold shares in these companies still. But you need to be outraged because Hunter Biden could make a profit off of Russia invasion. Grr. You need to be outraged. You need to be mad. You need to be able to be on the attack to the Biden crime family. That's what they call them on the right. They call them the Biden crime family. You need to be on the attack. You need to go after the Biden crime family. You can't actually sit there and actually, I don't know, maybe sorta just like they're politicians being politicians. You can't go do that. You have to go on the attack. And it's a bullshit. Even in the story, they're like, well, he may have dealings still. The connections highlight the longstanding concerns that the Biden's foreign engagements help Americans' adversaries. There it is, right there. That's the needle they're trying to thread. Biden is connected to Sinopec through BHR Partners, a private equity firm he co-founded in 2013. BHR bought a $17 billion stake in Sinopec Marketing in 2015. Biden at one point owned a stake at BHR Partners through his wholly owned firm, Stone Adels LLC. Again, nothing wrong here. Even if Hunter Biden still was with the firm, nothing is wrong here. They're trying to make some smoke where there's no fire. They're trying to make you outraged. Now, Trump had dealings like this. He's just a businessman. Well, Hunter Biden is trying to get off making business deals. He's a young guy. He's trying to make money. There's nothing wrong with that. What happened to the American dream, man? What happened to being able to make a buck in America? I thought we were supposed to be able to make a buck in America. I guess not. We're not allowed to make a buck in America. We have to make it something that it's not. We have to turn it into some kind of problem. And by the way, I'm adjusting my volume as we go along, so please hashtag FYI Live if the volume is better, if the volume is worse. I'm trying to make things good for you guys and tolerable as I get my shrill on. Because my shrill can hear the eardrums, and I don't want to do that to my people. A lawyer for the Biden family and Hunter Biden told the New York Times in December that Biden no longer holds stake in BHR or uh, Scan- Scantalese. But the Washington Examiner reported this week that Chinese business records still list Biden's firm as BHR shareholder, and Washington, D.C. records show Biden's firm owner as the owner. So Biden's still the owner of the firm. So what? So what? Biden is still the owner of the firm that he founded and started up? It's not like there's a grift going on here. This is not Donald Trump action here. Biden has worked with several other deals that would help China meet its energy goals. CEFC, China Energy, and Biden at least 6 billion or million to find investment opportunities in the energy companies in the U.S. and elsewhere in the West. Of that sum, the company paid Biden $1 million to represent an executive that was charged with trying to bribe African officials to buy oil drilling rights. Okay, not good. But again, where is the Hunter Biden fire? There is no Hunter Biden fire. That's what I'm saying. This Hunter Biden uh, conspiracy theory is like the Pizza Hut or, or the pizza, not Pizza Hut, but the pizza conspiracy theory of the right wingers. There's no actual conspiracy make. There's nothing to see here, as the cops would say, as you protest. The only thing you're seeing here is some made up shit going on that you can poorly link together. And people who don't do any research, like low information Trump voters, who don't care about facts and don't care about how things work out and don't and Jim, by the way, I want to thank you for being a loyal listener through thick and thin. We need more like you, and we do have some on the FYNation.com side, so they're kind of used to the issues. But I'm trying to do better. I'm like Hunter Biden, man. I'm trying to do better. We all have our personal crosses to bear. We all try and get through the day, and it's just a miracle that we managed to do that. It's just, by God, it's a miracle we managed to get through the day. And we struggle every day. We struggle every day to get through the day. And it sucks. It really sucks that there's a struggle to get through the day every day. But Hunter Biden is not a story. It's a made up flim flam clickbait entity. It's not a real story. There's no meat in the story. But what they want you to do in the right wing world, for those who read, is wonder and ask questions. Could he still be making money with China and Putin's war? Could he be making money off of Putin's invasion of Ukraine? Could Hunter Biden? Okay, yeah, he could. He could. But there's nothing it's immoral, but there's nothing illegal here going on. He's not in the basement of a pizza shack being a pedophile. or doing crack cocaine. There's no wrongdoing here with Hunter Biden because he's a former and I have my best friend is a former drug addict. And I know Tara Devlin does mention this, but my best friend is too. And they struggle every day with staying sober. And it's a difficult thing. Like, I struggle with caffeine addiction. So I can empathize with it. So and Jim is makes an excellent point here. Jim says, yeah, it's just typical slimy international capitalism and nepotism. Exactly right. But we're not allowed to be outraged when Trump family does it. When the Trump crime family does it, we're not allowed to be outraged about it. But you better be outraged if a Democratic person does it. See the difference here, though? See what they're trying to do? How they're trying to manipulate the narrative and make it a story and get it seeped into your mind that Joe Biden via Hunter Biden is helping the Chinese Communist Party, as the Republicans would say. See what they're doing? See how manipulative they are? And then you wonder why the Republican Party has a stranglehold on low information people and no information people? Because they are so willing to dumpster dive into trash. They become trash. It's really that simple. As a former Republican, I can tell you it is that simple. I used to take what Rush Limbaugh said as gospel. I didn't need to do any research because Rush Limbaugh was the guy who told me the truth. Why would he lie? He has all these millions of listeners. Why would he lie to these people? He has to be telling the truth about the Clintons. There was never any nuance. There was never any research. There was an innuendo and dick jokes. And you could give it a pass because you're fighting for freedom, for humanity. You give all these things you're fighting for, and you give yourself a pass as a conservative to be able to get away with being in the state of mind that you're at. And these people are not stupid. I am not stupid. Albeit I didn't graduate college, I am not a stupid person. These right wingers, these Trumpanzees are not stupid people. They are gullible, which is worse. They are gullible people who do not want to do their own research into problems, into solutions. So they believe a Hunter Biden, Hillary Clinton story where there is no fire, they see smoke. That is what is rotten in Denmark, folks. We're unboxing this for you. We're unboxing it because we need to know how to fight against it to get through to these people. And I'm not saying through to Republicans, that ship has sailed. But through to the independents like Lou Hastings. Lou Hastings is a good friend of mine. He's an independent. He is not the independent type that I describe as not able to say they're a Republican. There are different levels of independence too. Yes, Jim makes an excellent point. There in the Republican Party, There is no critical thinking involved. No critical thinking involved, and that's important. That is thank you. Thank you, Jim. That is an important point. I love my audience. I have the bestest audience. We are small, but we are smart, and we will grow, God damn it, fighting one technical issue at a time. And I just gotta say, there is no critical thinking because if there were, you would see there's no fire. But because you don't, and 10 to 1, these people believe in prosperity Jesus. That's what we're calling it now here on the show. Prosperity Jesus. They believe because you can believe in Jesus Christ all you want. I believe in Jesus Christ. I'm a former Roman Catholic. I still go to Roman Catholic church because my church is an inclusive church. And it's its own little enclave in New Haven, Connecticut, and I love it. And I love our priest. When I was sick, he came to me and not last rites, but offered me confession. I was close though to where I probably should have been given last rites when I was sick, with my heart condition. I'm taking medication and everything for it now, so and I have a pacemaker. Um, I'm a synthetic. I have the Clinton monitoring device in me now. So that's a thing that doesn't fucking exist. But we have to they have no critical thinking skills. They're not willing to link A to B to C. So they're easily susceptible to believing the biggest line of bullshit. This is what I try to tell Tara and try to get across to her when I talk about Nick Fuentes, and we're going to talk about that with her later. I have some video. Oh my god, oh my god, this video. The audio is worse than the video, but it's these people, man. No critical thinking. And I'm again, I'm not advocating for you can be civil to Republicans. I'm advocating civility. But make no mistake about it. We are here to win. We're here to win the narrative war. We're here to win the information war. We're look, I am here as your host of the Nosey Liberal to do everything that the Republicans claim that we do and more. I everything they say we do, I'm doing. I am that guy that is pushing propaganda and is indoctrinating the kids to think of equality and be humanitarian to each other, one another. I am that person. I'm the hode that has that narrative going on. Jim again with a great post. I love my audience. I often wonder how much blame to assign the church for teaching rejection of rationality. Um, which church though? Again, there are levels. There are levels of wrongdoing. You can't just I'm to the point where you cannot just blanket blame. All right? Because then there's no nuance involved. And unlike Rush Limbaugh, we like nuance and critical thinking. So you can't just say this church is bad and it happens to be an LGBT affirming church and they believe in Jesus and the commandments and Moses and yeah and find historical truth and yada yada yada. So you can't just blanket criticize. We're not Republicans. That's why I get a little upset with Mike Malloy sometimes. But I understand where he's coming from. And I have a lot of respect for him. But he blank and Tara too. That's why I'm trying to stress to Tara, there are certain people that we can reach out to. And at the very least, sway. And they're worth swaying. Now, are they worth changing a mindset like I did? No. That ship has sailed. But you can go up to someone who wants to have an honest conversation and say, "This is correct with your opinion, but the rest is wrong." And by golly, you will get agreement. My best friend who I talked about, very independent, very conservative, very army, pro-patriotic, yada, yada, yada. We often agree on issues where you would think that a democratic socialist, and this guy, by the way, not a racist, just pointing out, his brother is gay, so he doesn't hate the gays. In fact, he's one of the strongest allies we could have. We have to seek those people out. Um, no, Jim points out irrationality isn't bad necessarily. Uh, uh, you can. I irrationally love Star Trek and everything about it. But do I think that I'm gonna make it to the 24th century and everything that they aspire to? Absolutely fucking not. Because I'm still a rational being and I put my thinking cap on and I say, well, damn it, this isn't going to happen. This isn't going to happen the way I want it to. So you have things that are important. Critical thinking skills, important. By the way, Rory Boyd will be with us, an amazing talent from Great Britain today. He will be with us today. And we're going to talk porn, porn, plane watching, porn on a plane. Porn on a plane. We're going to talk about that. Do it? Don't do it? I wouldn't do it. Maybe in the bathroom. If you watch porn on a plane and you wank off, does that make you a member of the Mile High Club? A one-handed member of the Mile High Club? See, critical thinking here on the Nosey Liberal. And by the way, there's no number to call today because if you want to call, you can call into FY Nation via Skype. Because if I loaded that up, we would have crashed the computer. So there's that. Um, I'm working on a way to get everything working so we can have everything working all at once. Um, but I made a mistake when I bought the secondary backup computer. I bought 8 megabytes of RAM for this computer, and I should have gotten 16 like I got for the other computer. The one with 16 one runs absolutely beautiful, except for the mouse. This one runs well when you're not trying to push it. And I like to make my things make the most bang out of the money that I paid. And I like to push it. So there's that. Um but I'm waiting like the Hunter Biden and let's go to the other point with the Hunter Biden thing. The needle they're trying to thread is this. That Hunter Biden is somehow going to make money and be rich off of the whole thing with I'm getting a screen ready, my apologies. The whole thing with China and Russia, because Russia is not going to fail because China is going to help Russia, yada yada yada. That narrative, that narrative is a flawed narrative because you can't just say that as a thing. China can only do so much. China can only prop up so much, and eventually China is going to hurt in the process. So you have to take that into account. But Doug McGregor, Putin apologist, was on Tucker Carlson Monday, and he had this to say, and I'm going to play the video as soon as we can get. Let's do that. Just bear with me, and let's go to the transition. Come on, there we go. And here is Putin apologist talking about narrative. And just bear with me one more time. Here we go.
Point out will do a lot of damage to us. They're not going to make much difference. China will stand with Russia. It knows it has to. Russia has an abundance of food and energy. China will take it all. Russia will not suffer as a result of our sanctions. In fact, it may break down the financial system that we have set up to punish everyone in the world we don't like.
So, did you get that? I know it broke up a little bit. I apologize. But let's play it one more time so you could hear it again. And China is bad. China is going to help Russia. China. Let's try one more time.
The sanctions, as you rightly point out, will do a lot of damage to us. They're not going to make much difference to Russia. China will stand with Russia. It knows it has to. Russia has an abundance of food and energy. Russia will not suffer as a result of our sanctions. It may break down the world we don't like.
So
America's going to be majority minority by 2042. And the country's going to be minority.
Stop it. There we go. Sorry. Let's try going back to where we were. And my computer again. So ignore Nick Fuentes. Basically, we have China costs must go after China at all costs. Never mind that, and they're going to help, Russia. Never mind that you're wrong on that. And that's where we are with that. It's sad that that's where we are with that. We shouldn't be there. But unfortunately, we are there with that. And unfortunately, it's at a grave moment in time that we're there with that. What I'm going to do on Monday is I'm not going to use this camera. I'm going to use a different camera that is the backup camera and put it into a different computer so we can do better. But we have break time coming up. So just bear with me and we'll get to the break. And if it ever plays, not playing, there we go.
fellow working class heroes. Tune in to The Rick Smith Show every weeknight from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. That's Monday through Friday, 9 p.m., right here on commercial-free FYINation.com, your liberal lion for all things talk radio. The Rick Smith Show is commercial-free thanks to your generous donations to FYINation.com. The Rick Smith Show is where working people come to talk. You can find FYINation.com on your smart device and listen to me, Rick Smith, weeknights, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on FYINation.com. FYINation.com is communication with motivation.
FYINation.com costs $40 a day to keep on the air. Our original content doesn't sell you mattresses or storable food when you listen. We rely on your contributions to keep our programming paywall free. If you can't contribute, word of mouth is just as important. Tweet us at hashtag FYILive or visit our chat at FYINation.com. And thank you for supporting FYI Nation.
Hey, this is Brad Friedman of the Bradcast. You can now listen to our show every day at 11 p.m. Eastern and again in the morning at 7 a.m. Start your day or end your night with the Bradcast. The Bradcast is commercial-free right here on FYI Nation, thanks to those of you who donate to FYI Nation's Patreon account. Thanks for listening to FYI Nation and to the Bradcast, now heard every day on FYINation.com at 11 p.m. Eastern and again at 7 a.m. FYINation.com, communication with motivation.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. It helps to unmute yourself when you are on the TV machine, and that's not what I wanted to do. But if you want to scan that QR code that's on your screen, you can download the FYI Nation app, and it's free, and there's no registration, and you can take FYINation.com with you on the go, and there's the app. I decided not to play Green News Report this hour. We missed too much already. So we're just going to mosey on through, and I'm going to try and call Rory and see if we can get him on the air and see if we can make this technology thing work. Because, yeah, we want it to work, and work we need it to do. So let's call Rory. Just bear with me here. Come on, technology. Don't slow me down, technology. Rory! Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm having a little bit of a delay because of our internet today, but can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
Awesome. And I can hear you just wonderfully. Let me raise your volume a little bit so we can hear you. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm pretty good. I got some good news yesterday. So
you did? Can you
yeah.
share? Can you
yeah, that thing where I was trapped in Britain.
Yes.
I've only got 4 weeks left before I'm allowed out again.
Only 4 weeks. Are you going to be able to do the show still? Please say yes.
I can do the next 4 weeks.
Okay,
it's going to be difficult.
We'll deal with the next 4 weeks as they come by.
It's going to be difficult when I've got a 14-hour time difference.
Yeah, that might be difficult. But maybe we'll figure something out. So, which story do you want to do first? I'm going to give you the choice du jour: the stupid people polled, the porno on a plane, or the don't try this at home kids story. Which would you like to do?
Don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home? Alrighty then. I actually like this story, so I'm glad you picked it. Don't
you can pick the stories. If you like them, you can pick them.
I know, but I like giving you first choice. You're not a lady, so I can't say ladies first. But you know, that'd be weird. Um, that would be a little awkward. Um, so Rory Boyd is with us, and we're gonna mosey on into this next story together. And this story is from the Daily Mail, and I actually saw something with this story on TikTok last night. When I have this problem, Rory, where I will literally go and I will um on my phone. I will go on my phone and I can't stop. Like I can't there's no stopping me. The madness just creeps in and I must go and use my phone and at night and it keeps me awake. And I end up like I'm gonna spend 2 minutes on TikTok or whatever, and I ended up spending maybe 3 hours on TikTok, which isn't at all healthy. Um,
Nah, that doesn't sound very good.
yeah, no, and it keeps me up, and then I'm wondering why Tom Reynolds cannot go and sleep at night, like, and why I have such a problem. I actually wonder these things. I shouldn't, but yet I do. So let's go to the screen share here um, of the story, and this is in a my computer's running a little slow today, so I don't know if it's the internet or if it's the actual computer, but it's annoying as hell. And I just lost the screen, totally lost the screen. So let's try this way. This is maddening. Um, I love improvising, Rory, and you can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can still hear you. I just don't know
Okay,
what to say.
it's okay. You can say la ti da for all I care. We're having a show today, and I'm happy that I got everything to work because when we started the show, I could my idiocy. I could not get. I could not get the radio. And I couldn't figure out why. That's our. I'm Tom Reynolds. I'm with Rory Boyd, and that was our 6 minute that usually intros our show, but we've wasted 6 minutes trying to get technology to work. So there's that. But let me load this story up properly, and Chrome tab, and there we go. Alrighty then. So the story is anime. I love this story, Rory. I really do. It is a healthy expression of in America. It is just perfect, and running so slow today. I don't know why. It's like, come on. Um, let's see here. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to switch cameras, and I can't do that. I literally lost. I literally lost the camera. Just see, this is the non-memory. is trying to load. Now we should have audio and video back on that. And apologies because that is not I'm frustrated today. But we're doing it live, god damn it. See, if I was right winger, I would have money, and if I was a right winger, I would have, and I'd have an audience.
Why have you never considered doing no?
Scruples are hard, man. Scruples are terribly hard, and
Always getting in the way.
Yeah, they are getting in the way. They totally get in the way of things, and I have the story up the way I wanted to. It only took 15 minutes, because technology. I apologize to the viewers, that are putting up with this. My slow computer is not going to run the stream tomorrow. I'm working on figuring out a way to make this all work properly. But thank you for putting up with the show today. The mess that I've made on the floor, but we're still trying because damn it, this is a test run for Monday. Rory, I have Tom Hartman on the air from national talk show host, really big. You've heard of him, you know.
Yes.
I think most of my audience knows who he is, and I can't have these mistakes when Tom fucking Hartman comes on the show. I can't be that guy. We have a smart audience. It's not like the Republican audience. A bunch of dummies. So let's go to the YouTube story, shall we? Let's talk about the YouTube story. Now, I was.
So what am I meant to be trying at home? That's what I need to know.
Well, home or abroad, really, with this particular story. You don't want to try it home or abroad. And I watched somebody do this on a different dare. There's this YouTube challenge that is going on the YouTubes, on the internets, where basically you are being dared to how to describe, spend a night somewhere, like spend a night in not a hotel, that makes sense.
That's quite easy.
Spend a night in a Burger King, spend a night in a Target, spend a night in an airport. And I saw one with somebody just spend a night. They actually spent 5 nights in an airport trying not to get caught by security. So that was fun. To me, it's kind of like this whole spend a night there thing is kind of making fun of our friends that are homeless, our homeless population. So I have a big problem with that because a lot of homeless people don't have a good place to stay, and we shouldn't like dramatize it. And I let's go into this first. What are your thoughts on the whole TikTok challenge thing where it's let's try this, kids, and do it this way? Yeah.
Well, I remember them going quite badly before.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the cinnamon challenge?
Vaguely. Tell the audience in case they.
The idea of the cinnamon challenge was that you got cinnamon from the spice aisle, and you put you got a teaspoon of it, and you no water, no nothing, put it in your mouth through it. And the thing is, cinnamon's like really quite like it doesn't seem spicy in the small amounts. It seems like a taste of things, but it's actually like really, really, really hard to do. I actually remember this once. This kind of this right wing talk radio from over here guy did it, saying, "All these kids, they're weak these days. They can't do this, but I'm going to be fine." And he almost like suffocates.
That's good. See.
And the other one I remember, you ever seen the one where they put like they get salt and ice and they mix it together to make it really cold, and then they put it on their skin, and then everyone's just getting these massive burns.
That just sounds horrifying.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't do things you've seen on the internet is my advice.
Yeah.
People suggest some very stupid things.
And I don't understand, like, why people do. They're doing it for clout, right? They're doing it to to elevate their views and get more subscribers and followers and be no. It's gonna start again in a short second. So we're going to fly through this break too. But here is because I don't need breaks because I have Rory with me. So we're doing it that way today, Rory. But this is Nosey Liberal, and but one does it ever. Rory about and honey. What kind of names are those, by the way?
Are they dips for like chicken or something?
So these were YouTubers, and they were arrested for this social media challenge last month when they Target overnight. Johnson LaRose and Charlotte Fisher, both under 30, 25 and 24. I don't remember doing anything this stupid when I'm 30. Basically, stayed in the Pennsylvania Exton store at February 21 for their 24 hours overnight challenge in Target. They were charged with third-degree criminal trespassing and conspiracy. They were released on $25,000 unsecured bail and banned from visiting any Target. See, that's the punishment. They're banned from visiting any Target stores in Pennsylvania.
It's legal.
Well, you're not supposed to stay 24 hours in a place that isn't yours.
But if the shop is open 24 hours, it's not like 24 hours, but you have to. It's not like, with parking spaces where it's like no more than 2 hours consecutive.
This place wasn't open 24 hours, though, Rory.
Oh, okay. That's where I was trying to work out.
Yeah, that's.
So if I went to the Tesco's that is open 24 hours, as long as I didn't do it on a Saturday night, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
If I did it on a 24-hour night, I could just wander around for the whole evening, and that's fine. Okay.
And you can see our mugshot on the Facebook, and his mugshot. This is just they're having a gay old time in the thing, but was it? I mean, they have the video. Was it? Do you think worth it? I mean, a $25,000 bond, unsecured bond for Jim says that's a reward. Target sucks. Being banned from Target. So
I've only ever been to Target once, so I couldn't possibly comment. I thought it was quite interesting, but in that kind of way that every time I go on holiday, I find supermarkets fascinating.
Yeah. You probably know what you're gonna get.
Well, they're really interesting. I don't know, is this sort of gives you a better idea, because it gives you an idea of what people where you've visited are like.
Yeah.
And what kind of their tastes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also they're different, and I always think that's interesting. But obviously these people they weren't
not a huge fan on smells, I will admit.
They were obviously not. They weren't on holiday in Pennsylvania. They were just doing this.
No, they were like acting a fool and just doing whatever they thought they could for clout, and in their case subscribers, because it wasn't a TikTok thing. And
so this is a problem. This I think is the problem with the content economy.
Yeah.
is that you have to constantly be doing new things. You
Yes.
have to do new things, but they can't be too new. If they're too
Yes.
new, people, what the fuck is this?
Yes.
But if they're new, yeah, they have to be kind of similar but new. And there's just only so,
Yes.
and there's only some different scenarios you can put yourself in,
Yes.
and therefore you just come up with what's the stupidest thing I can do. I don't
Yes.
know. I'll hide in the bread aisle of a supermarket until the closes, and then get caught. By the
Yes.
sounds of things, like it's just not a. The stupid
It's
thing
like,
as well is if they're
and
on YouTube, they're going to
it's not like
post
they're
this.
trying to be sneaky about it. They're doing it. They're showing off,
That's what
right?
I mean. They're not going to. Someone is going to see that.
Yeah.
Presumably, nobody's really going to retrospectively prosecute you for hiding in a shop, but like, it's not a bright idea.
No, it's a past stupid idea. It's quite damn scary, frankly. Um, uh, that people think they can do this, um, and it'd be slightly. And I just confirmed Tara Devlin for 11 o'clock. And Rory, if you'd like to stay along, we could try that. Or if you got something to do, you could do that.
I have something to do, unfortunately.
Figures, you bastard. But no, the whole thing about the story is that it's just like, so what the fuck? Like, you're gonna get caught. There's no two ways about it. So why are you gonna put yourself in our way? There's no critical, like we were talking about critical thinking and Republicans today. There was no critical thinking when that was going on, and they didn't even steal anything. That's the worst part.
Well, I mean, I guess that they were thinking that they would get away with the one thing, and that the stealing would be them.
Oh yeah.
Like if you think of, like, they thought, okay, we'll do this, but like if we get through the night, then nobody's going to care.
Yeah.
But if we find ourselves taking stuff, that would be a different case.
Yeah, and
overall.
Jim says clout is not a personal accomplishment. I love that statement. No, it's not. Like I want watchers and followers and subscribers and everything for the show. But like I'm not going to do the next thing that can be done to get them, right? I'm I'm not going to put myself through that situation. Why would you why I guess my question, Rory, is why don't they think this is not a good idea?
Again, I think it's that thing of trying, just having to do something that, like, I presume that these are people who are, big enough that this is like a job for them,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
therefore they have to continue making content, and that if their brand is doing stupid things, they have to keep escalating the stupid.
Yes.
And if you keep doing that, eventually you end up like Logan Paul and causing some kind of international incident or something.
Yes.
But it's not a. I think it's just generally quite an unsustainable way of living. And they get a lot of, like, the people that don't do the intellect people deem it tend to burn out as well, because
Yes.
they're just working very, very hard trying to please some sort of unknown algorithm to keep attention. The people that whose attention they have. It's not very good for you, I don't think.
Well, that's why, like, I enjoy doing this because I don't have to. I can bring in stories. I can talk about what I want to talk about. The getting people to pay attention is my outrage meter, and you know me, I can go off on a tangent and be mad about something, and then we can slack and have a day on Friday where we're having a little bit of fun, and that is equally acceptable. You know what I mean? Um, I just think, I like with these two stories, like we're gonna do this next story here, um, this porno story. Actually, no, the poll story. Um, this is even worse. This poll that is out there from Breitbart, Breitbart, and this is some grade A level bullshit. They found a poll that basically said they would not invade Russia. They would not invade if Trump was in charge. Putin would be afraid of him. And here's our coming up right now. I have my break music, and it goes through, and it's working. I'm glad some, but this poll of polls, this batshit crazy poll from Breitbart, just shows back to the other part of the story that there critical thinking involved. That people don't actually go to the next when it comes to that in and of itself is a scary happenstance. And it should frighten everybody. That's where we're at. But this poll says the survey found that 57% expressing the belief that President Joe Biden could have done more to prevent Russia invasion of Ukraine. Rory, what could have done more?
I'm not sure there's anything that could have been done in the last 2 years that have changed it.
Yeah.
Like, I think this was coming. I guess the thing is, I don't really know why it happened now rather than ages ago.
Okay.
But I don't specifically think. I specifically know what Trump might have done. Because I do believe Trump might have just gone, oh yeah, I don't care. Sure,
Yeah.
it's probably not. It's quite hard to say what's preferable. Would you rather have loads of people die but you get to fight, or would you rather just lose despite it? It's a difficult decision for them to make, but I just don't. There's more. It's not like, because I think the situation now is that it is pretty clear, and if Biden had came out and said, we're gonna get you if you try this, we're gonna trust us. Exactly the same way as nothing is really happening now, Putin would have gone, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good. You're too smart to do that. We're not gonna fall for that. So I think it's there's just a general belief, I think, that people can fix things. And you can argue that to some extent, like the Balkans in the 90s demonstrated some evidence that NATO powers can go in and save people and reconstitute states in a way that is broadly pretty good.
Yeah.
I think since then they found that the larger that project becomes, the more difficult it is to do it right. And a difficult one. And obviously the fact that Russia are involved.
Well,
Very dangerous.
Your point, 46% said if, and here's the question: would Russia have invaded Ukraine if Donald Trump were still president? 46% of the population said no. They said Russia would not have invaded Ukraine if Donald Trump were still the president of the United States. And these like just love this. Come to that these people believe that, yeah, okay, Russia, and we're dealing with it that way. And it's nauseating that particular struggle that belief uh and this perception
I don't think anyone has the power to stop this happening, bar some kind of total war conflict. So, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter who the president of the United States is in this situation. It would just not. And again, this is kind of what I was saying. It's difficult for people to sit there and go, "What do you mean we don't have any power to stop this? We are like the policemen of the world. We must be able to stop the bad things happening." And it just doesn't. Like the bit in, if we can Disneyfy everything, it's like the bit in the Disney Infinity Wars or whatever, when they're all just sitting around depressed because the guy's destroyed half the universe. Like, once someone has amassed so much power and so little accountability, you just kind of sit there going, we just got to hope that someone offs him, or this goes too badly and he has to turn around. Like, there's not a lot more you can do.
But the poll itself, the poll, back to the poll though, the poll itself is, by the way, there's a 13-point margin with the poll that we're talking about.
Well, so this could be 33% of people, or it could be 59% of people.
Yes. The Harvard Center for American Political Studies Harris poll released last month that 62% of respondents expressing the belief that Putin would not have taken the same actions if Trump remained in office. But this poll, Republicans 46% more than the Democrats 33 to handle the issues related to national security, and another 19% just don't trust anybody. They're just like, yeah, we don't fuck everybody. So there's that. And it's slightly frustrating that this is where we're at this point.
I find it odd, a little bit odd, that this is framed as a national security issue. I understand that's kind of like the sphere of, responsibility it falls within, but it's not actually the security of the United States that's in trouble here. It's of Eastern European states.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, you're right on that. And just to put it down to the way they're trying to frame it is just bullshit. And
I also think it's a very open question. Like, would it be different? It's like, well, it might be different. It doesn't mean it'd be better or have a different outcome. It just would be different.
Yeah.
He'd have done it on a Tuesday instead of a Monday. That's different enough. There we go. Well done, everybody.
No, absolutely. And therein lies the trouble with Denmark and what we're dealing with, right? You just don't know because we're not there. But it goes back to what we were talking about before. There's no critical thinking with this issue. When it comes down to it, people are just not taking a thought process with them to say, okay, well, this is how it's going to be because this happened this way. They're just saying, yeah, well, I believe that Donald Trump would be the better person for the job, yada yada yada. Make him president and make it happen. And the guy doesn't have, like, when interviewed, the guy doesn't have any solid plan, right? There's no There's no anything that could make happen for the betterment of the U.S. or I'm not quite sure where I'm going with this.
Well, the beauty of him not being in power is,
what was that?
The beauty of him not being in power is he doesn't actually have to have any ideas.
Well, yeah, exactly.
This would be someone else's job.
Jim said he could have leveraged his way to reclaiming Ukraine with Trump being in power. And he's right. He could have done a lot of different things. But the thing is, Trump is not in power, and Trump would not have stopped Putin from doing what Putin wants to do. I mean, it's really that simple when it comes down to it. I don't see it as any other way.
The one thing actually I could believe that Trump might do, but I don't see how this makes anything better, is that if Putin were to attack somewhere like Estonia, that Trump would just say, yeah, you know how we said we'd help if ever this happened? Yeah, we're not helping.
Yeah.
Like I could, and that would make a massive difference. But again, not a positive one. So that's really, there are lots of different things could happen. Just hard to say any of them would substantively make things better.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely right. And it's kind of like today's show. Lots of things could happen. But making it better or not, I don't know about that. And I do know what I know what I need to fix, which is the great thing. But it's not going to happen right away, unfortunately. And it is what it is. But let me I'm going to play this video and get your reaction if everything cooperates here. I'd love to get your reaction too if everything cooperates. So let's see if I can play this video here. Just bear bear with me as I get it to load up. So basically, let me set it up for you as good. Basically, Trump Jr. Is under the impression that he is playing everybody like a fiddle, right? He is Trump Jr. says basically the people that that my father is dealing with is it, don't have any clue to what the real thing is that's going on, and they are just wrong in what thinking about the issue, and that basically I'm trying to load this crashing everything. Just bear with me. And you know what? I'm not well. Oh, goody, it's actually working. And basically he his dad, Donald Trump Sr., is basically playing everybody, and you all got fooled by daddy. Like he is the master manipulator. And you could look at this in two different ways. Okay, so that is true. What do we do with that information now that we know it? And two, how much of it is bullshit where he's not this master manipulator, but he's just a shitty person when it comes to being involved in a situation. So let's load this video and get it playing. And
he's folding to them. You know, if it was me in charge, I'd tell him to go screw themselves. Right? This is some nerd in his mom's basement who's never dealt with anything, never actually had any power, never understood those people because he's never been in the same room as them. In academia, they're writing this stuff like it's real, like they actually have to say, like they actually know what the hell they're talking about. Do you ever think that, like all other things, maybe Trump understood? He knew exactly how to play these guys, and he played like a fiddle.
so did Trump? The question is to you, Rory. Did Trump? Okay, you couldn't hear the video. The question, of course not. To you is, did Trump play these people like a fiddle? As Don,
So who's he meant to have played? Can I just clarify?
like the populace. Like he's like Trump is so much better, and Trump is so superior to everybody else. He is able to make everything work like clockwork, and he is able to make everything go the way smoothly, and with Putin, and he was not really kissing their ass, but he was strategically maneuvering the way about diplomacy should be strategically maneuvered. Make sense?
If he was this effective at manipulating the populace, would is that not how that works?
Yeah, no, absolutely. He would currently be president of the United States.
Like everybody goes into a booth and they're asked, "Who do you like?" and not enough people. That seems to me like he's not been good enough at manipulating people. And if anything, maybe he got worse at it over the course of 4 years.
No, absolutely. That's a great point. That he the only reason he's even doing this is to make himself feel better in the long run, and that does not make a foreign policy to victory there in any sense of the form or word. And it's slightly frustrating that he is even able to sell this, but yet he is like he's selling it to the non critical thinkers out there.
But like,
And
surely there are fewer people that still kind of hang on his every word than there were last time. Like, he's got to be relying on, if he wants to get back in office, he's relying on.
Because studies have shown that Trump has gotten more unbelievable following with the election. Like, people stopped following the news because Trump is out of power. But like, even fuck studies. The video that I posted of Trump talking about windmills, right? I've 100+ views on that video. Where other views with people talking about Trump don't get as many likes and everything else by people. And all I have to do is point to that. Like, all I have to do is say, okay, this is the reason. This is what's happening. And it's because it's strictly because people want more of this. But I think what we're missing is the reasons people want it. Like, we don't understand why people, like, if it's like watching a car wreck, if they're taking it seriously, the actual reason behind it. You see what I'm saying?
Why doesn't he just go on like a stand-up comedy tour? That's clearly the thing he wants to do. He wants people to like him.
That's a good question.
Because I do genuinely
he's
think
funny?
I see. The thing is, I think he can be quite funny. I just think that you have to sort of. The problem is the funny stuff is much more scary when the power over.
Yeah.
You know, when he says stupid stuff about windmills, that's not a problem. That's just like a daft thing someone might say at a comedy night. But the problem is that if you've got executive power over a massive, then you potentially genuinely believe the thing you just said, then that has long-reaching effects on everything else. But if he would to never have any involvement and have no sort of say over the politics of things, then I think you could extract that and say, well, some of the things are quite fun. But like, it's mean. It's not the kind of thing I would like. But I think that he's got a cadence to himself, and the things he says can be quite silly. And but the problem with that is that you don't want a silly president. And so if people take that and go, oh, I want this guy in charge, then you end up with some nonsense.
Well, and they think like there's a tough guy persona that
I don't get the tough guy thing, because the thing that he says when I see him and you see the things he talks about, it's like his calling in life was a red carpet reporter for E.
Yeah.
And yet he decided instead to become like a fascist and president. That seems to me like if he stuck to the celebrity stuff and the making fun of people, like, he'd have a much happier life.
Yeah.
And everybody else would be much less concerned by his goings on.
Yeah.
But that's the thing I don't understand, is that he doesn't seem to have people, when this sort of tough guy image of him, it's like he seems like the softest, the sort of guy that if you threatened to have a fight outside a bar with him, he would just run away. But actually, he wouldn't run away because he'd be too scared to run away. He would just, I don't know, sort of sit on the floor crying. I'm not saying that you should have fights outside of bars. I'm just saying that he doesn't seem, nothing about him seems tough to me. He just likes to say a lot of things. People.
Yeah. And for those watching, sorry about that. I was trying to fix something and it didn't work. I'm trying to figure out what needs a serious is like just happening with this computer that is driving me nuts.
It's all the windmills.
Yeah, no, the windmills crapped out, man. They just are not working in the right way for the American people. And that is clearly the problem. So what I'm going to do is keep you on. I'm going to fix something while we're talking. I'm going to change um, audio. Okay. Um, all right. So I'm going to unmute this and just bear with me. I'm unmute this. And I'm gonna add my. Okay, there's that one. Now I've added the computer, and now I've added that. I'm just worry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to if I could give you a call right back.
Okay.
And we're gonna do that. We're gonna do a switcheroo live on the air while we do this. So I need everybody to bear with me and thank you for your patience. I know what I'm doing, Rory. I swear to God.
Okay.
Give me about 2 minutes to call you right back. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. So, folks, we are switching stuff around as we do this because there's a little bit too much of an issue with this computer, and I want to be able to stream what we're doing for you properly, but I can't do that. So bear with me, and I appreciate everybody's patience. So hold your horses while I do this really quick. We're doing it live, as they say. So just bear with me. everybody, we are back on the air. I apologize for the issue. I'm apologizing an awful lot these days. Let's see. Let's call Rory. Put the headsets on. And let's see here. We have Rory on the line. And I have you back, Rory. And we are back. And we are live. And
Can't hear you. What the fuck? I can't hear you.
All right. What about now? Can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you, but yeah, you're on two screens there. Not sure if you're
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna mute the other screen because I'm not supposed to be on two screens. We're supposed to be on two screens.
No, and now you're gone again. Now I can't hear you again. Now you're gone. What the fuck?
Now you can hear me again.
Yes.
Okay, and now we fixed it.
Okay, cool.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
You're
I
fine.
thank you to the audience who has been watching and putting up with this drama today because it has been I would rather get it all fixed now than have it happen when Tom Hartman is on the show.
Exactly.
And I found that my other computer, the backup computer, just needed to be reset because of Windows updates.
Okay, that's what usually
So
what
that was the
happens,
problem
right?
with the back.
An
Yeah,
update, and then it knocks
yeah.
everything off. Right.
Exactly. So I mean, it happens, and but I know what I'm going to use that computer for, and it's not the way I want to do it, but it is what it is. It's just I'm going to do a test run on over the weekend and see what I can do with that because we need to have everything working appropriately.
Well, yeah.
But I want to talk to you about. I was talking to Rory about this poll. This poll where 46% of the American people think that Donald Trump would have stopped Vladimir Putin. And
Well,
I posted it in the Twitter. It's on our Twitter page if you want to take a look at the poll. But are they stupid? Are they gullible? What do you think?
It's propaganda. It works. Propaganda works. This country is flooded with right-wing propaganda from sea to shining sea, and even if they're just watching Fox News, that's the message they're getting. And then you have the others that are in the OANN cesspool, and everywhere you go, if you stop at a rest stop, like these idiot trucker tantrum assholes, you stop at a rest stop, they have Fox News blasting on the screens and things like that. So, like I said, if we don't have the message, we don't have anything. And I say it all the time on my show because this is how we lose. You understand? That's it.
Yeah.
The message. People aren't being informed. And then even on the corporate media, that because Trump and the fascist Republicans have been very successful devaluing truth in general, which is another fascist tactic. I mean, the whole thing is it's about owning the message. And if we could talk about it all day about how the Telecommunications Act of '96, that was the nail in the coffin. But here we are. You don't hear Democrats even calling for media re-regulation because they're also feeding on that corporate trough, feeding at the trough of corporate greed. But the corporate media itself won't cover it anyway. So because they like the way it is. You don't hear. That's why you don't hear it on. You don't hear it on MSNBC or CNN.
Even our friend Tara, our friend Britt Summers, who is one of the I think the only trans person who's licensed in radio, and she has that moniker. She has said that when she's talked to fellow Democrats in Florida, she lives in Florida, and when she has talked to fellow Democrats about starting a movement for radio and like just getting message out there, their eyes glaze over and they're not interested.
Yeah.
And it's just like they don't seem to understand that there's a messaging war.
I know. I don't know why. It's like I said, it's probably because of money in politics. They don't want to touch it because if a politician talks about re-regulating the media, then what do you think will happen on corporate media? They will be incessantly attacked, and they won't, like what happened to Bernie. If you watched MSNBC and CNN during the primaries, they were relentless, and they don't want the American people to know what socialism is, that the happiest countries on earth regulate their capitalists. And I mean, it really is bottom line about greed when it comes down to it. And I mean, this is why I do my show, but it drives me crazy, probably to the end of my days, because this is where it stops and starts. If we don't have, and the other thing is, just saying the poll, right? 46% of them, or whatever the hell, think that asshole, the con man, Putin puppet would be great. Yeah. Even just reporting that poll incessantly will set up the self-fulfilling prophecy as well, because they're not informing people. Like, who cares what low information, duped, dumb as whatever, asshole fascists think about what there really is. You're polling their misinformation, you're polling their biases. It's like, who cares what they think? They do it on corporate media. The majority of the American people, whatever it is, like 77% say they hate socialism or whatever. They don't even, so they report this poll, but what is socialism? Explain what is your definition of it? What do you think about socialist security, socialist Medicare, all of that? It's also because of, it's easier to report polls and do polls. MSNBC, NBC in general, CNN, they commission these polls as if that's journalism, so, and then they can report on it, and they get pundits in to discuss it, but it doesn't really do anything to educate people.
And not only does it goes back to the self-fulfilling prophecy you talked about, but they get that self-fulfilling prophecy because they ask the question in such a way, they Frank Luntz it, where it's this, we have to do it this way to get this answer that we want, so we could drive this narrative.
It's as if they're asking a question to people who aren't informed. Who cares? What are they going to say? When you're living in these bubbles, this Fox News bubble, what are you going to say? And then you're surrounded by people who believe this bullshit. And okay, so this is what they think. Why? Why don't you inform them that we're in an existential crisis for democracy, that Trump is unfit to sell Trump Network vitamins, much less lead a modern nation. So why report that? That's news, but it takes investment in journalism, and this is not what the corporate media is about. So,
you're absolutely right. The corporate media is about selling the narrative to keep capitalism,
keep the ads.
And to keep getting rich and have their grift.
That's right.
And that's what I was talking about yesterday, where you and I, we don't have a grift nature to us, where we want to have money, but we don't. It's not like a get rich quick scheme to gain money and amass power and yada yada yada. So the question to that is, does that make us failures? I don't think so. I think that makes us
Failures.
better in the long run.
Whatever. Failures. This is not in my frame of thinking. Is that does make me a failure? Why? Because I'm not getting rich on my Tara Buster show? It's
Yeah.
not about if I wanted to get rich, I wouldn't be doing liberal media. So yeah.
No, that's exactly it. And that's where I was going with my point is you and I and others who are doing this are doing it not for prosperity, but to get a message out that is important and is vital to democracy, and that what we need to do is reinforce the message because we're battling the Hunter Biden narrative that I talked about earlier. We're battling the Hillary Clinton narrative that I talked about earlier. We're battling the Joe Biden. We talked about it yesterday. Even Democrats think Joe Biden is senile, and I think he has it together. I just think he happens to have a stutter.
It's offensive. Yeah, my father had Alzheimer's. I'm so sick of these filthy fascists. Joe Biden does not have Alzheimer's or dementia in any shape. If anyone who has any experience with somebody who suffers from that knows that no one with Alzheimer's or any touch of dementia could get up there and hold 2-hour press conferences. And yeah, even though he stutters and sometimes and
the fascist is in this
right.
the audience, you know.
Exactly. It's really tedious, but that's why the corporate media sucks. This is what they're doing. They're polling this kind of ignorance, and they're polling. It really should be: is the propaganda working? You know, and that's the framing. But of course, the corporate media would never do that. And this is why we're here. It's a joke.
Jim, a Tara Buster fan, by the way. Jim said even the framing of the poll reporting is biased. Could have said this large majority think Trump would have faced the same issue. And it goes to the point that you made where they want to have the self-fulfilling prophecy so they could say, ooh, prosperity, this is how we're going to make money, and this is what we're going to sell our next Trump mug on and everything else to keep that ball rolling. I mean, there was a report that Brad Friedman covered that he's even trying to what is it? His jet is on the ground because it's just sitting there because they haven't done the proper polling, and his other jet,
Whose jet?
Trump's jet. Trump's jet is on the ground because he hasn't taken proper maintenance of it since he was able to fly Air Force One.
Oh, that's a shame.
And he's been using rich donors right now, Trump has, to get around. And the Trump plane that he was on, the private jet, had an engine problem. And he used that to fundraise. Like, he's a victim. He has, and it's like, it's Jesse Duplantis needs a private jet to sell Jesus. No, you fucking
right.
You want a private jet.
They're disgusting. I mean, so that's the grift. And, you know, the corporate media, the fact that the people don't know this and that they're not, I mean, see, this is why it drives me crazy, because the corporate, some in the corporate media will talk about the crisis of democracy that we're in and how Trump is really the greatest threat to, the whole Trump, the Trumpanzees and the Republican Party. But then they'll say how Kevin McCarthy he wants to be the Speaker of the House, and that's why he's following Trump. I mean, there are ways to frame this as the crisis that it is. The report on what these scumbags are doing. What does it mean to be in a democracy? The Republicans don't even know. They have been successfully propagandized to think what is freedom, what is democracy. They don't understand fundamentally what the grand experiment in liberal democracy is. They think it's freedom to not do whatever the fuck they want. That's it, and not give a shit about anybody else.
And that's that's, Tara, why I've come to your conclusion that it took me so long to come to. You cannot reach out to these people and change their minds. They're
No,
not
no,
gonna. They're
it has
too.
no.
They're too
Mhm.
far gone. You and Mike Malloy were professors in this field, getting me to that level of thinking. Because frankly, I was the doubting Tom, saying, you know, we can just reach out. We can have a conversation, and
No.
they're in this pressure cooker of OANN, Newsmax, Free Beacon, Daily Mail, Fox News, you
Yeah.
name it, and
Rupert
they're not.
Murdoch.
They don't want to get out. It's a big giant hug to them. It reaffirms all their thinking, so they can continue on their
Yes.
day. Where
Yes.
liberals, we don't. Progressives don't need that. We can watch Fox News and say, okay, that's bullshit. We're going to turn it off now, and analyze it and critically think about the issue, where Republicans and conservatives and independents, who are just people who refuse to say they're Republican and conservative, don't have this, you know.
Mhm.
And the only thing that I would at this point differ with you maybe is that there are different levels of grift and evil in the Republican Party. Like there are, like you get to the Nick Fuentes, who I want to play this video for you,
Mhm.
that I have of him, talking about how he's freaked out about multiculturalism and everything else. And even if we don't get time to play the
No.
video, your thoughts on how, like, the Republicans are able to get away with mainstreaming these people.
Because they own the media. That's, the whole liberal media frame that they've been talking about for my entire life. That's a canard. It's complete bullshit. As somebody, I studied communications. I have a master's degree in communications. Okay, so we studied these things, and the media is not liberal. It is, for if any, it's right wing. It's corporate. It's corporatist. But to say it all the time, that's how propaganda works. Repeat it again and again and again, and then low information voters, these people don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's why it drives me insane. What, you're polling people's ignorance. Ask them what a democracy is. Ask them what it means to be free. What does that mean to them? It's all these ubiquitous overarching terms that it's like a Rorschach test, and then you're supposed to, I guess, they assume that everybody has the same interpretation of it, but that's not true. So explain to them, what goes on in other countries, how other countries do things better, because they are protecting the pillars of democracy, like education, like living wages, like, a free and fair press that isn't owned by 6 giant transnational corporations, because that's the framing you're getting.
You're right, because even AT&T owns OAN,
Yeah,
and they're happy to
exactly.
produce that shit
Mhm.
because it continues their corporate capitalist narrative.
Exactly. And it's, when you ask people, what do you think if Trump would do this or Trump, well, first of all, the assumption is that they are informed, that they are well informed and know what the hell they're talking about. And the fact is, we know that, as studies show, people who watch Fox News are less informed than people who watch absolutely no news at all. And so you're polling their malinformation. That's what you're doing. You're not in, so it really is useless. And but it is, see, the thing is with Fox News, there, when Rupert Murdoch's, it really is the pus, it's the infected pus oozing from the ass of the body politic. That's Fox News. And then you have the morons who feed off of it, so they're the flying monkey morons. But Fox News changed the paradigm in a way. So how CNN was really the first network that was all round the clock news. So you have, how do you fill that in? But Fox News, they actually had a lower budget for news gathering. See, before, in the days of Edward R. Murrow, news was a public service. So you
Yes.
had the big three, you know, CBS, ABC, NBC, and part of the one of the things that they gave back to the people was news. So they took pride in it, and people trusted it too. That's the other thing.
Yes.
In the days of Edward R. Murrow, if they got a report that people who watch Edward R. Murrow are less informed than people who watch nothing, then Edward R. Murrow would be out of a job. You see, not, but as you know, Fox News, nobody got lost their job when that came out, because being misinformed and malinformed is their business model. So
Well, and it's not just Fox News, Tara, as you rightly point out. When we lead up to the Iraq War, they
yeah,
what the media
exactly.
did, what the corporate media did was no different than what Russia today is doing to the people over in Russia about the war in Ukraine.
Exactly.
They propagandized, they gave face reasons, and they called you basically a traitor if you were against the you didn't love the American troops. You were against the troops.
Exactly. Support the troops.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when the first Iraq invasion, when George W. Bush's pappy, and everybody was tying a yellow ribbon, which used to drive me insane. You know, tie a yellow ribbon around the trees for the troops, you know, and it's like, you know, tie a yellow ribbon around your goddamn eyes. You know, I mean, that's really what they're doing. But that's what the Nazis taught people. Well, I mean, people are the same. You know what I mean? People want to be accepted. You want to be, you know, that's why it's hard to be different in as a human being, because people want to be, you know, they want to be part of the group. That's in our nature. And so when you're hanging out with people who are malinformed, who's going to tell them that they're no, Fox News makes you stupid? No, the con man is not he hates America. He's a goddamn Putin puppet traitor, and all they're doing is sucking on whatever teat they can grift from. So it doesn't matter to the country, whether the country burns, whether we're all out here at each other's throats. This is how you know they hate America. They hate the American people, because they purposely set people against each other, especially along racial lines. And it's the whole thing is a grift. And for the corporate media to I mean, they know what's going on. That's what's so it makes me insane, because they know that Fox News is a propaganda channel. They every now and then you'll hear, in fact, they've been reporting it more about how, and it was for the first time in my whole life that someone on corporate media mentioned that study about Fox News making people less informed. I mean, that study came out over 10 years ago, though. So why is Fox News allowed in the, let's say, White House press pool and things like that?
In Helen Thomas's old seat, no less.
Yeah. So that it's the whole thing is that's why it gets me down, because everywhere you look, there's a problem as far as destroying democracy.
As bad as it is, though, Tara, at least it's not as bad as when Trump and Z himself was in the White House, when they had True News, the truthiest news.
Oh God, yeah.
In the White House press briefing.
Right.
They are right-wing evangelical network, and they have they're a cross between Jesus and Alex Jones. If you want to put that in your head.
What is this?
True News. They misspell true in their logo, and is it Lance Walner?
Is this new?
Yeah, no, it's been around for years. I've been covering this for about 5 years. These guys, but they were able to get, Right Wing Watch reported this. They were able to get press credentials for the network through Donald Trump.
Well, that's another thing. During what you saw during George Bush too. Remember Talon News? That
Yeah.
was a complete propaganda network run by some male sex worker for, you know what I mean? The Republicans understand because I mean, just like I've said for years, in every Republican chest beats the heart of fascism. That's it.
Mhm.
Why don't the Democrats say these things? It's like because it's the truth, though. It's
Because
like they have a vested interest in keeping the wool over everybody's eyes about.
I'll tell you the reason I think it is, Tara. I think that the reason they do is because they wanna keep access.
Yeah.
They need to keep
Oh, yeah.
they need to
Oh,
keep
you're talking about the other
reporter
people in the
their
press
news
corps.
media
Yeah.
and the reporter. I think because, like, Cenk Uygur was on MSNBC, and I like Cenk Uygur on TYT, the Young Turks. I like
Mhm.
him a lot. I've interviewed him, uh,
Mhm.
back when I lived in Vegas. He's a really nice guy, but he straddles the line of being a democratic socialist and a democrat capitalist. He likes to
I know.
like be on that line, so he'll come across mainstream as possible, but not like Joyanne Reed mainstream
Mhm.
where he would be on MSNBC, because when he was on MSNBC, basically he wasn't willing to
Right. Yeah.
not ask his own questions,
Mhm.
his own personality, and he ended up getting taken off the air for that.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I don't remember the whole story. I know that he was on it for I don't remember. It
yeah,
was too long
and
ago.
he is when we talk about, I think of Jimmy Dore and Rob Placone as progressives that are more
I don't know
considered
about
more
Jimmy Dore, but
extreme
yeah.
on the left,
Mhm.
then Cenk would never get on MSNBC. They would just never,
Yeah,
because
I mean, in my opinion, is not that smart. So I
no,
don't know.
I
Yeah.
agree with no, my problem with Jimmy Dore is he doesn't do the simplest of research. Like when he had the
He's
Boogaloo Boys on, he didn't know what the fuck it
Yeah.
was.
I mean, I don't follow him or, even
Oh,
care
no,
about him.
I only do in passing because I know Ron Placone. I mean, that's
Yes,
just what
yes, of course.
yeah.
Right,
Uh,
right.
but the point is, we have different levels of liberals who will actually go out there and say what needs to be said, and then it's almost as if the whole establishment will come down on us for doing it,
Well, the
which
establishment doesn't even give us the time of day. That's the problem too. As you see on with the right wingers, they put CJ Pearson on Fox News. They'll put Tommy Lauren, the stupidest
mhm,
people that ever sat in front of a microphone. They will put these morons in front of millions of people, and that's how they get, of course, more status. That's what they did with this. What's her name? Candace Owens. She
yep,
she tried the liberal. She's a grifter. I mean, we know
yeah,
that they're all grifters. She tried the liberal thing, and I guess she realized, oh shit, the money's in conservatism. So, and that's
mhm,
what she did. And they especially because she has darker pigment, they put her. She's basically a human
yeah.
shield for
Dana
Republican bigotry. Mm-hmm.
Dana Lash or Dana Loesch did the same thing,
Mm,
where she was a liberal, and then she had this big dramatic change to conservatism, and
right.
she had, literally on her show, she has like 3 different firearms that are just hanging there
They're
as
just
like wall
sick.
pride.
They're
It's
sick.
so disgusting.
They're disgusting. And I mean, even with that, with Democrats, I wish Democrats would just give me a call one of these days and I can give them all the talking points and the framing that they need
Yeah,
because you don't apologize for being on the right side of history and you don't beg for fascists to be bipartisan with you. You rally, you unify not around the people who stormed the Capitol and encouraged the big lie. You unify around democracy. And
yeah,
when they attack Democrats for whatever socialism, you don't run from it. You say, oh, okay, you don't like Social Security, you don't like Medicare. What we're talking about is regulating capitalism so we all have a seat at the table and building the and building the infrastructure of democracy. That's how you frame it, because you
Yeah.
can't have a democracy and concentrated wealth at the same time. Hammer that home again and again and again. Not the poll that says 48 or whatever the hell percent of low information morons don't know what the hell they're talking about. Inform them, but
Yeah.
it's to my eternal frustration. This is what the way it is. I see some Democrats, some of the younger Democrats like AOC and whatnot, coming up, and they're less apologetic, of course, because they're not taking corporate money, and that's where it has to start. But then you have like Pete Buttigieg, who is another one who annoys me. But like during the Democratic primaries, when they were all saying, you had Bernie and Elizabeth Warren up there saying we are not taking any corporate money, and then you have Pete Buttigieg excusing it, saying, "Well, are you saying Barack Obama is corrupt and influenced or whatever?" This is like, shut the fuck. Like he's the saint that walks among us. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like he's literally giving aid and comfort to the enemy.
Well, I'm saying, when Obama took more corporate money or Wall Street money than any other candidate up to that point, that's nothing to boast about. But they're saying as if this is something that, of course, he's not influenced. What are you saying? Are you saying that Obama was influenced by Wall Street money? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Why didn't any banksters go to jail? Yes, he was influenced. Why did Obama choose to bail out the banks instead of the people who were underwater? He could have done it that way. He could have saved people from losing their homes.
He could. Tom Hartman talks about this, and we'll have him on Monday at 10:30. Nice plug there. But he talks about this all the time, where if Obama really wanted to be for the people, he could have made every post office a bank.
That's right. That's an idea Bernie's been pushing for years. So things like that. And the Democrats have to see, it starts with Clinton. It's the Clinton, so-called new Democrat bullshit.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party, and that's why the filthy fascists, the shock and disgust, have been able to reframe themselves somehow as the party of the people. Yeah, stupid people, dumbass, low information dumbasses who suffer from Stockholm syndrome, but not people who actually have the maturity to function in a democracy and understand that we can't have an oligarchy and a democracy at the same time. But all over on Fox News, they're telling them that billionaires being able to go jerk off in space, having more money than half of the country put together, one fucking person, that's freedom. No, it's not. That is oppression. That is oligarchy. And everyone you're talking about from Teddy Roosevelt, from the first Gilded Age, knew that progressive taxation was the only American value, that you needed what he called you needed to tax bloated fortunes and things like that. So they couldn't grow to the size where they would threaten the country that our founders fought a revolution to create. So
no, you're absolutely right. And the reason they didn't want FDR to have more than 3 terms or any other president after that was because he did the right thing and transformed this country to be a country that governs in a country that works. So Republicans, along with the Democrats, and went along with this idea that, well, we needed term limits. And
the Democrats, the Republicans, the minute they got into the majority during those years, they did everything they could to limit the power of the people to have any say. And it's true. Yes, they were afraid that there would be another FDR who would make democracy work for all. But anyway, I'm looking at the time, so I do have to run.
Tara, thank you for putting up with the tech issues. I really, you are I'll say this again to anybody who will tell me you are the biggest supporter of FYNation.com that I know.
Well,
You
that's
are the
nice.
biggest fan of me that I know, and
Oh,
it means the world to me. I love
mm,
seeing Tara, your
yes. And
producer.
Tara Jr., the producer.
I love that, and I'm not a cat person too, which I'm probably the only cat that I'd get
What?
along with is your cat. Um,
And you don't know him, really. You haven't met him.
no, but I'd like to get to know because
Yes, exactly.
awesome producer for your
He
show.
is. He's a great producer.
I really want to thank you again for coming on and really fighting the good fight
Yes.
for
And
liberal
I want
talk.
to thank you, of course, Thomas. And if you want to hang out tonight, I'll be on
I'd love to.
Tara Buster at
Now that I have everything working,
all right. Well, 8
Got it
p.m.
all on
Eastern Standard Time at youtube.com/C for channel/Tara Buster. And yeah, so we'll talk later, I guess.
yeah, definitely. Thank you, Tara. You have a great night.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Yep.
Bye, Jim. See you later.
All right. So that was the amazing Tara Devlin from Tara Buster, who is, like I said, I will tell anybody um, uh, who will listen that she is my biggest supporter that I can have. She is an amazing host of her show, Tara Buster. I can listen for hours tell the truth about Republicans and the grift and how evil and how unnecessary they are for government because they don't know how to govern. She is just an amazing person. And I want to thank Jim, who's been watching, and those who have stuck with the show today. You guys are awesome. I did not expect to have to do this, but we fixed it mid show. This is the first time ever where I've been able to fix something mid show and have it work. So we had 2 days, literally 2 days in a row, this has happened to me, where I have had something shit turn into something good. I have not experienced this, and frankly, it's a little just like, oh my God, this is actually a thing. This actually takes place. I'm really surprised by that it's a thing and it actually takes place because damn it, usually something that I'm doing will fall apart and just fall apart. And this show, we have been able to keep on the air through a technical breakdown, and the struggle was real, but we got through it, and I'm so monumentally happy. I'm so appreciative of that. Now what we need to do is fix the other issues that I know I need to fix. And the issue with the computer was I just can't use it for streaming. I have to use this laptop for streaming, and I've learned my lesson. Penance has been exacted. Penance has been paid. Um, so there's that. We have to use the laptop for streaming. This other computer was just not. It doesn't cut the mustard. So we will work out the issues with everything else for the streaming computer for tomorrow. Uh, and I will do a test probably, but I really appreciate. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do Woke Talk Radio at 8 o'clock on. I'm going to do the first episode of Woke Talk Radio. That's what we're going to do to test it. We'll do it without Lou, and we'll have Lou on when he's able to come on. We'll have everything set up, and we'll test run this bitch. We'll do it live, and we'll go through the paces and get everything set up because that's what we need. Luckily, we have our issues here. Things happen, but they're for the better. Because what we need to do is we need to stop stupid people. We need to stop the drama that we are dealing with in the body politic, right? I'm posting this particular story that we're going to talk about next that is completely outrageous. And it is unnecessary. But yet it's a thing that these right-wingers do. And they're doing in Texas. And they say they believe in the family and they believe in family values, and they push this lie. They push this narrative, this fake, false narrative that they believe in family values when they don't. They don't believe in family values. They don't believe in humanity surviving to the next level and being able to gain and get ahead. They don't believe in that, folks. They don't. And it should bother you. It should bother everybody that they're able to get away with this because the left does not push back hard enough, and corporate media is a willing enabler. And this is the point that I should have made better with Tara. Corporate media is a willing enabler of stuff like this to be able to happen. All right? This story is from the Daily Mail, and they are a willing enabler of stuff like this to be able to happen. And it should piss you off. It should make you mad. Everybody should be angry as fuck about Texas. Everybody should be angry as fuck about Texas. Take the trans issue out of it for a second. Take the whole trans issue out of it. You should be angry about Texas because this is a Republican power play and a grift to hate and humiliate people. Ordinary people trying to get by and deal with their lives, and they are going after them. And it is sick. It is pathetic that we are dealing with this issue. So this transgender boy says her family is one of the 5 being probed by the state for child abuse, seeking medical help for their son's transition after she invited the attorney general to dinner to learn more about the process. So you're doing you're trying to be a non-low information person, right? You're trying to do your due diligence, and you're trying to know what the fuck is going on about things. And Amber Briggle just wanted to investigate what is involved in the process for her son. She invited the state's attorney general to dinner to learn more about the process. And she says she is now being probed by the state for child abuse after seeking medical help with her youngster's transition. She says she was contacted by Child Protective Services on February 28th with an investigator saying they'd be arriving at her home within 30 minutes. Briggle said she managed to meet with the social worker at her office and schedule a visit to her home March 3rd, where she said she resulted in the social worker's compliment her and her husband's parenting. So the social worker was like, "You're doing nothing wrong here. You're doing a good job, Amber. Amber, you're doing a good job. Way to go, Amber," the social worker says. Yet still, because Amber wants to get hormone treatment for her transgender son, is being investigated for being a bad parent. She seems like she's trying to do anything. I don't know her politics, but it seems like she's trying to do the best for her son. So Briggles invited the Texas State Attorney General Ken Paxton to dinner in the wake of the proposed bathroom bill that would ban trans people from using the restroom corresponding to their gender identity. Paxton and his wife accepted to dinner, enjoying a convivial meal with the Briggles. But the family now face social services probe thanks to Paxton's office. Paxton's office. Gestapo tactics. Fascist tactics. Briggles says she and her husband Adam have advocated for their trans son since he came out to them at age 4. Age 4, this self-aware child knew that they were transgender. I wish I had that much awareness about my sexual identity and who I was at age 4. I didn't know up and down. These kids, they're self-aware. They get it. They know what's going on. They understand this is maddening that here we are in this day and age dealing with this. They do not care about parents. If they cared about parents, they wouldn't be investigating them. They tried communing with the devil. Jim posed, states' rights have always been an excuse for oppression. Absolutely right, Jim. Absolutely right. One of the Briggles' attempts to help raise awareness for their son included hosting the Paxton dinner at their home, and a judge sided with Texas' request to block a federal directive for schools to accommodate the bathroom choices transgender students. To her surprise, Paxton did accept the invitation. He literally went to the bathroom with my transgender son so they could wash their hands before dinner, Briggles said last month, recalling the encounter on the 19th. He turns around and says, "This is nice. It's been a while since I had kids this age." Ken Paxton is an evil, evil human being. To showboat a family and then go after them. He used the family as propaganda to say, "Look, we can all talk, we can all get along. Look at this. Look at me with the transgender family. I don't help. Hey, I'm just trying to protect kids here. Yeehaw. I'm just trying to do my due diligence." Where's the child abuse? Oh, wait, there is none. There is no child abuse. I'll say again, there is no child abuse. The only abuse that is happening is to the body politic by Republicans. And the Democratic cohorts who give them an easy way to deal with things. And don't fight this. they seemed like good parents. 5 years after the dinner, the Brighell family claimed they are under investigation for child abuse under the scope of the governor's ruling that you got to go attack trans kids. These Republicans are master. See, this is why you can't just say, "Oh, the Republicans are stupid." The Republicans don't know anything. You can't do that. You can't diminish them. They are smart. They are maniacal. They are evil. They are happy to go after trans kids. People like me, who's non-binary, happy to go after. It is sick. It is dehumanizing. They don't care about the family. If they care about the family, they wouldn't try to rip it apart with government bureaucracy that they claim to object to. So to diminish Republicans and say they're stupid and the ones in power and they don't know anything, I'm not doing that anymore. They're maniacal. They're genius. They know how to pull a grift and a scheme. And they cannot be trusted. The fact that we have a funding bill in Washington is testament to Democratic leadership, not Republican compromise. We shouldn't have to compromise on this issue. We shouldn't have to compromise on the trans issue either. We should be forceful, and we should take heed on how we handle and how we deal with the right. And I got a Russian bot. Amazing. Yes, I'm live. They manipulate an issue so the low information voters will think it's another issue. They do this with every issue. It doesn't take the trans part out of it. Republicans hate trans kids. We get it. We know. They're pro-life my ass. There's nothing pro-life about it. What we need to do is defeat them at the polls. It's not good enough anymore to win the moral argument. We need to go after them and really fight them. We have to fight them as if our lives depended on it, because they do. We have to go after them as if they are willing to go after us. They are, look, let's just face it. We believe in nuance and critical thinking and the ability to go from point A to point B without tripping over ourselves. That's what we all want to do. That's what I want to do on this show, right? I want to go from point A to point B and not trip over myself and not cause harm. I want everybody who is willing to be a part of the message to be a part of the message and communicate, but I don't want bullshit. I want clear, concise, meaningful opposition. You have to fight this at the polls. You have to go after them at every election, down to dog catcher. Every election matters. You have to you have to get people who want to be in this to win it. And not in it for a grift or a get rich quick scheme. People have to want to be able to come together and want to be able to process through what we're doing here for people. We just have to at this point. We have to be able to see things right. And I went over my time. It's way past the time. Tom Hartman is coming up next. My apologies. We got everything working, and all I wanted to do was talk on my talk show. Thanks, guys, for listening. We'll be back tomorrow, or Monday, and we'll have a live show, Saturday at 8 o'clock. So thank you guys for putting up with me. Tom Hartman is coming up right now, and I went over my time. Oh, my God. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye, YouTube and Facebook.